Hidradenitis Suppurativa. Yeah, I still can't get it. I am Hayzel Green, an inquisitive, unapologetic, voluptuous introvert who blooms and blossoms behind closed doors. This is my podcast, a platform where I will discuss my writings and where I will bring to light conversations with my good girlfriends, sisters, brothers, and homeboys about love, life, music, and most importantly, sex. So leave your judgment at the door and welcome to Hanging Out with Hayzel.
It's Hayzel, baby.
And everything.
Wait. I'm what?
Oh, you got the curves. You're tall. You're thick. You thick body. You tall and curvy.
Hey.
Right.
No, let me stop. I was watching TV. The commercial came on. What the hell is this? Because I'm generally like trying to skip through commercial because I'm always looking at my Fire Stick.
Mm-hmm.
Lady was talking about the painful bump, like rash type thing that she has up under her armpit. You know how she had been misdiagnosed. Typically, as a person, whenever you get a bump, the first thing that you try to do is to bust the bump.
You can't bust them until they ready. No.
I will contribute it to the type of deodorant I wore. And I just thought I was having a reaction to the deodorant. You know, of course, make sure I wash.
Was it a fester? What if they do travel? Was it a fester of bumps or was it like one big bump?
A couple different bumps.
Okay, and they felt like they were filled with something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, one of the, and this is the thing for me, and for me, I have to keep my body impeccably clean. Even like when it comes time for my period, for some reason my hormones make me sweat out. It's like my body just has a complete allergic reaction to my own hormones, and I sweat out. I notice I get musty under one underarm. Shit sound crazy, but it's the truth. They build up. They'll come up on certain parts of my body, and then if they were there before, the next time I come on my period, they kind of swell back up again unless you can heal them. And that's what I work more so on heal. Like I talk to other people who had it and they drain theirs, and I'm not too keen on sticking no needle in my body, draining out nothing. Okay. I do, if it bursts, I do try to squeeze it and make sure I getting all the poisons and stuff out of them. But, you know, those are like toxins built up. Now, see, I've had this condition for years, so I have like so many different remedies. So one of the things is that I notice is that toxins in your lip can allow for these bumps to occur too. So I take milkthistle and I take it in a capsule form, and I don't always take it every day. I gear to the times of when I know, like right now, I know I'm about to come on my cycle, so I start taking a lot of milkthistle because apparently around this time my body is just fighting itself. It's just fighting itself terribly. So I take the milkthistle, and that has controlled the hidradenitis because I have it bad, okay, and it has controlled it. And then it's like once them bumps come up, it's like you got a scar there for the rest of your life.
Okay, so wait, let me step back because I've never heard of milkthistle before. So I'm looking it up, and hold on, it's a liver supplement.
Milkthistle is dandelion root. Some people drink it in the tea form. Very good for your liver. It helps rejuvenate and detox your liver. Milkthistle.
Wow, I never heard of it before. Okay, milkthistle. And you say
yes,
this helps you kind of control your HS?
Yes, it does. It helps me control my HS. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you said basically over trial and error, this is what you kind of came up on.
Yeah, I had to go through like reading a lot on it and understanding how it worked because I was told it was like a, what they call them, condition, autoimmune condition, okay? And with that being said, most autoimmune conditions, when you rash up and bump up and stuff like that, it has a lot to do with toxins not filtering properly purifying through your liver, the blood purifying through your liver. So milkthistle helps with that process. and it does work, especially if you get the right kind. Some people choose to just drink the tea, and that's fine too, because I am a firm believer of, like, I don't constantly take, I would say I'm more so a tea person, but I do take the milkthistle tablets because they're more effective than just drinking dandelion root. It's a little bitter. The tablets, you don't really taste them. Of course, I'm not a doctor, but I'm a person who believes in natural substances for my body, because, all these medicines, and I'm not saying I don't take any medicine, because I do have to take certain medicines. Like right now I'm on a high blood pressure pill, but when I get to the point to where I can control this blood pressure, then I plan on being off of them and doing all natural things. I try to do natural things right now in regards to my blood pressure as well. But speaking on the level of HS, the milkthistle is very powerful. It's very powerful.
So how often do you take I can't even say it right, milk thistle? How often do you take it? Is this something that you take daily to assure that you don't have any outbreak?
Well, throughout the week, I take maybe like 3 pills. I do not consume a pill every day for that. And then around my cycle, that's when I might take one every day, because that's when mine seem to fester more.
And you said you said you've had this for quite some time?
Since I was 19 years old.
But when were you actually diagnosed with it? How did you know that, okay, I need to go to the doctor and find out what's going on with this, and they actually gave it a name?
It was just like this bump that just wouldn't go away. Okay, now, so the actual diagnosis had happened when I was more so like 28, but when I was 19, I did go to the doctor, and they gave me this medicine called erythromycin, and I was like, it's like an antibiotic, and they were using it as an antibiotic for the skin, but you have to stay on that. And what people don't understand about antibiotics is that you're not supposed to take them long term, because we have what we call good bacteria in our guts and bad bacteria. And what an antibiotic does is it kills all the bacteria, the good, and the bad. And you don't want it to kill the good, because if something foreign come in your body, this is what the good bacteria does. Something foreign, say for example, the flu. The bacteria say, oh, who the hell is this? We don't know this person. Get y'all guns. Get y'all this. Get y'all that. We going out. That's how it works. That's what your good bacteria does for you. And if you taking long-term antibiotics, that will wipe everything off, and you will constantly be sick. I remember when I was on antibiotics like that, I could not stay away from having a cold. I could not stay away from having strep throat. Anybody came near me that was sick, I got it.
Oh, wow. So,
and it was because
go ahead.
No, it was because I had been on those antibiotics long term, and I didn't have no soldiers. I didn't have no good bacteria soldiers to help me fight off anything.
So HS stands for, and I'm gonna try this again. I'm gonna try it. Hidradenitis Hidradenitis Suppurativa. Did I do that right?
I think it sounds perfect, but when I had played, how you can go to the dictionary and play someone else saying it sounds a little extra to me. So I'm just like, okay, we're kind of pronouncing every syllable, but I don't think that I could say, just like I said, who's to say that your version is right? Because I think that sounds perfect the way that you said it.
Okay.
Some people say suppurativa. Some people say hidradenitis suppurativa. It's like I've heard it said in different terms before. The best term, like you said, is HS.
Okay, hold on. I'm about to check if I can get this. Okay, hold on. Here we go. Hidradenitis suppurativa. Okay, let's see. What does it say here? Let's see.
Hidradenitis suppurativa.
Let's try that one more time.
Hidradenitis suppurativa.
Yeah, I still can't get it. Okay, so HS. Now, according to the website here, Humira, hidradenitis that word, is a chronic or long-lasting systematic inflammatory disease that affects your skin. This means your HS symptoms may appear throughout your body, both on the surface and deep layers of your skin, progress over time, and leave irreversible damage like tracks and scars.
Right.
You know what? That's crazy. And you always look at things and you just never know who may be going through these issues. You know, the commercial that just came up, you know, she was frustrated because nobody could diagnose her. And
that was a damn commercial for sure, because having this full blown can keep you in so much pain. I had been to the point where I couldn't even lift my arm. And every time I couldn't even put it down, put it to the side, it was no comfort. And I couldn't do nothing but basically cry and whimper all night until it decided to finally bust. And it was just the most agonizing, excruciating pain. It was burning, it was throbbing, it was like a toothache that would not go away on your skin.
You know how those toothaches are. But when I noticed my bumps up under my arm, and I think it is pretty much the left armpit is where I was experiencing these bumps, but I thought it was the type of deodorant that I was using probably gave me some type of reaction. I was like, okay, I can't use that deodorant anymore. It's irritating my skin. And just me, I would just always try to go and squeeze these bumps, because I think it's a mental thing. When people see bump, they'll go and try to squeeze them. And it's like, well, shit, none of these bumps have heads. It's hard. They're like shaped weirdly, oblong. And it was like, wow. I never knew until today officially what it was, thanks to you. But even when I saw the commercial, I kind of thought, but I never really paid true attention to the commercial. Not where it was like, oh, well, shit, this is what I have. You know, we as a culture, every time we turn around, there is something that we have that they are now screaming out on commercial. Every medication that you take, although you're taking it to assist with one thing, that at the end of the day, it harms something else. What the hell? Yeah.
To me, the best way for HS is to groom keep the maintenance on your hair and your body together. Now, this is what I'm gonna say. This, like you said, the shaving can ignite, can make HS flare up. It can. But clogging of like wearing deodorant over the years, we have like these clogged up pores, and that's just like we can't get down to the surface of it because the pores are clogged up and they have to be released of all those old deodorant and things like that that's up under there. So it's good to try to use like some vinegar, white vinegar up under your arm, some baking soda to help draw some of that old deodorant out of, the hair that may be up under your arm or out of the skin cells. It's good to try to use those exfoliating gloves and scrub up under there to break down the old skin so you can push some of the old deodorant and oils out. And see, people don't talk about that because it's like, who talks about, kind of like exfoliating your underarm?
Yeah,
it's
I never thought about it.
And that's where, and that allows HS to fester. It's not that some of us have pores that just have absorbed over the years. Like my pores under my arms are terrible, and I constantly have to try to exfoliate and, a good thing to do is like go to a steaming room go and just sit into some steam and allow, the underarm to get that steaming and just exfoliate. And then you can cut it down from time to time, but it has to be, knowing that, afterwards, you will have to put some type of medicine up under there. And I can recommend a medicine that is very good. Topical is very expensive, but it's worth it if you have HS.
Yeah, it's generally expensive. Oh, goodness. So what is the name? What is the name of it?
Emuaid. EMUID. Emuaid. And
EMUID. So this is a topical medication that you can use. Okay. For those who don't know, topical is something that you do not ingest. It is something that, let me stop. I might have to look into that. So I've learned milkthistle pills and emuaid, and it's a topical medication. So I might have to look into that. Now that I'm sitting up here thinking about this, I figured it was something with the deodorant. But then that just makes me think too that there are certain things that I think my body cannot take like now, and I know this is sort of unrelated, but it might have some relevancy. I can't wear earrings.
Okay.
And and most of the earrings are made out of a nickel or, some type of aluminum gold base. And I can't wear it because my ears, they will hurt. They will swell up. Even 10 karat, quote unquote, gold earrings, I cannot wear it. That means that my body cannot take some of these metals.
Yeah.
Wow. That's deep. That is truly deep.
Yeah. And you have to understand that our bodies now are missing so many nutrients because our food is not providing the nutrients that we need. Now, for example, the ground in the U.S. has been turned over so many times as far as like planting and things of that nature that it's been used, like they say, when you get stuff from Africa, the nutrients are there because the ground hasn't been disturbed so much. So here in the U.S., the ground has been disturbed, and as it gets disturbed, the minerals and vitamins that we would receive through our food get depleted. So we're missing so many minerals, and that could be a cause of a lot of these autoimmune diseases. I do believe it's a link with our food, because every time I talk to somebody got some kind of skin something or some kind of autoimmune something, and I do believe that a major link is the food that we're eating. So
Okay.
I mean, because you can hear like over the years, like my grandparents, they say that HS is something that's passed down from generation to generation. I ain't never hear my grandmother complain about no HS. My mother, I mean, it had to come from somewhere. You know what I'm saying? But
Well,
just touching back on HS.
You got to think. You just said my mother
Yeah.
and my grandmother. You had to remember we have two sides, maternal and paternal. Maybe it was from your paternal side that you accumulated
And I know
this.
I asked them too, and I didn't get an official answer that I thought was helpful to me. So I don't know, but you are absolutely correct. You are absolutely correct on that. But just getting back to the healing and the process for HS, one of the things, the advice that I could say for people is try to make sure. And I know this sounds like I'm saying, oh, you're not washing your ass right. No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm saying try to make sure that you constantly are keeping the sweat down. The sweat is a form of fungus, and fungus helps, again, ignite HS. So you have to keep your sweat down in your growing area, under your arms, up under your breast. I sweat very heavily up under my breast, and sometimes I get a bump on one side up under my breast. So I try to control the sweat level, which is a form of fungus, which will fester and allow them to breed, that HS to breed. So I'm saying that I do take a lot of baths. I recommend taking, and I don't mean a whole cup of bleach. I'm not Donald Trump. Like, drink some bleach. No, you pouring like at least if depending on the bleach. If it's like that ultra bleach that you're supposed to add water to, you probably want to use like 2 ounces, and then the rest about 4 ounces of water, and then put it in your bath. And that cuts down on the fungus that your body, the sweat that your body is creating, which will help in aiding the HS not to fester up. And, and the doctors will tell you that, and take you a bleach bath, and then I take my milkthistle, and I do use emuaid, and like I said, just trying to stay impeccably clean, when the HS has formed. The worst thing to do is to be like, oh, it's hurting, I'm not getting in the shower, I'm not getting in the tub. No, that goes. And then I've added in my bath, when I don't take a bleach bath, I will put eucalyptus oil or lavender oil in there, and those essential oils seem to help. They really do. They seem to help, with the pulling the fungus out of the skin, because it's not all, you can't always take a bleach bath because that can make your skin dry,
that's true.
So like if you go swimming every day, your skin is dry from the chlorine. You gotta replenish those oils into your skin. So taking I find it very calming to have the the essential oils in the water, and it does help. It does help.
Okay. So you said majority of the times that you see this outbreak is around the time when you're about to come on your menses.
Yes.
Other than that, it kind of subsides. You don't see them as much, or you still see them.
But I have seen them, but not as much. I noticed that when I'm coming on my cycle, everything is funkier. My underarm, my witchy watchy, whatever you want to call it, a peachy, whatever.
That's funny. The cootie cat.
Yes, girl. I was like, so around that time, the sweat level, it's like the sweat level. I sweat more around when I'm coming on my cycle, my neck, my back. I'm like, what the heck? I'm just sweating. And so that, like I said, again, that sweat is fungus. And you have to clean that off your body. You have to clean that off your skin, because that will allow for one of the bumps to appear. You have to clean that off of your skin.
That's crazy. I've been reading this website, and it says that HS can affect one or several areas of the body. Signs and symptoms of the condition include blackhead. And the blackheads appear in small pitted areas of the skin, often appearing in pairs. So that's a whole cluster of blackheads. Painful pea-sized lumps. And I think that's what I was talking about when I said they don't even have a head. It's like they're weirdly shaped. So the condition usually starts with a single painful lump under the skin that persists for weeks or months. Oh, yes, most definitely. More bumps may form later, usually in areas where you have more sweat and oil glands, or where the skin rubs together, such as your armpits, your groin, your buttocks, and your breasts. So you just talked about that. They have leaking bumps or sores. Some bumps or sores get bigger, break open, and drain pus with an odor. So is that almost like a boil in a sense?
Yeah, it is. It is absolutely like a boil, and it hurt like hell. I try to prevent mine from getting to that point, honey. But this is what I will say. If it's gotten to the point where it has gotten bigger, you're doing all the topical stuff that you can do, you will definitely have to get an antibiotic to force it to burst, Or if you go in the doctor's office, depending on what they think, they might want to drain it. But I like for it to naturally burst on its own versus being drained. I just, an infected area, because the area is infected. An infected area just don't take too kindly to somebody sticking some needle in it or a knife in it to, you know what I'm saying? I know the pain will be relieved faster, but I would rather have it bust on its own. But you will need some type of antibiotic to help with that process once it has formed into one of those big boil lights, because it's just trying to, now what I do is preventative maintenance.
Okay.
So the preventative maintenance is me knowing where they come at. I'm taking my bath. I'm scrubbing my skin down. I'm putting the emuaid, in the places where I know they fester. I'm doing the things that I say that I do, and it's all taking the milkthistle pre-maintenance before they come. Once it has came and it's in full blown effect, you have to get the antibiotic in order to get the infection to burst or get the lump to burst to get the infection out and things of that nature. So, and then after that, it's the cleaning and the care of the wounded area. So
wow,
yeah,
that's deep. And they have one other thing here, and it said tunnels. Now I know what a tunnel is, but this say over time tunnels might form under the skin, connecting the lumps. These wounds heal very slowly, if at all, and drain blood and pus. Damn. Yeah. This is interesting. Huh.
I have a tunnel up under my arm, under one of my arms. So mine's it's scar tissue for me now, but it was a tunnel of It's just so painful. I don't even really, and then if you look at pictures of it, you will be so disgusted. It goes from where they're the single boils that look horrible, and I've seen people have them so bad. I said, oh my God, I couldn't even, I know how painful mine are, so I couldn't even imagine having it up and down my leg and just like bigger than what your whole leg has an infection. If it gets any bigger than a knot or a bump, it's just like, it's people who have it so bad that their skin is just torn or dilapidated up under their arms, and it's just raw, and they haven't even healed. I've seen a picture like that before. I was just like, oh my God. But you do have to control the toxins within your body. It's like your liver is not filtering out the toxins good too, and that's what helps them come up as well. It's like so many things that can contribute to HS activating.
And you know what? Now that you said that about the liver, I have to, oh my goodness. Yeah. I found out I had to have my gallbladder removed. I think it was last year sometime. Yeah, it was last year before. I know COVID was most definitely in effect. One of the things when I went for my follow-up care, even though the doctor had horrible bedside manner, what I found out is that I had a fatty liver. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Most people that that have fatty liver are people who drink.
Right. I have that
and
too.
I don't drink. Then I found out that there is something that's called a non-alcoholic fatty liver. Well, damn if I do, and damn if I don't.
Most Americans could probably have that because it comes from many, many years of eating
bullshit.
Eating fried foods, consuming all kinds of oils and greases and lards, and even if it's in some cake and it tastes good, it's still some lard up in there. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so it, I can see how a lot of Americans can get diagnosed with fatty liver disease, but that kind of fatty liver disease is definitely reversible. I don't know if they told you that.
Hell no.
Yeah, it's reversible. You have to do, like I said, if you was to drink the dandelion root, like I've read about people just going outside picking yellow dandelions and boiling them and drinking them, and it helps detox your liver.
Well, we already know I ain't that domesticated, so I can't pick and pull and boil nothing.
But you can get some tea that's already, bagged up, and then have it. Like I said, it's not the best tasting tea, and it can be similar to it, like a diuretic feel, like you might have to go to the bathroom a little bit more frequently. But, it does help detox the liver and just reversal of the liver. And they talk about, I haven't done it, but I've really been interested in doing a liver detox in itself. But the things that I've heard how people do it, it just sounds like so disgusting. I don't even know if I'll be able to get through drinking no olive oil and vinegar and all this other stuff.
God. Oh.
To allow the detoxing to work. And then they have these kits. But I'm really big on finding out what's in the kit first. Let me see what's in the kit. Let me find out if it's all natural, what's in here before I just go to, committing to guzzling it damn down.
Oh, well, they need to sell a pill on the shelves of Walmart so I can just pick up a pill because, that was. But
at the end of the day, milkthistle is a dandelion root. It's very natural. They use it they have been using milkthistle in healing for many years, especially for detoxing the liver.
Well, I'm most definitely going to pick up me a bottle or two of milk. Damn, why I can't say it? Milk.
I will send a recommendation. Yeah, I will send a recommendation for you that's very powerful.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, I will send it through. I'll send you the link to Amazon because they sell it.
And we are not endorsing Amazon. We are not endorsing any particular type.
Oh, no, we're not. We're not even. That's why I didn't even say what the product was. I am not endorsing Amazon. I just know that I can get it there on the low. Okay?
That's right. Oh, my goodness.
This is what I tell people when you start to dibble and dabble with herbs, because I'm a person who dibbles and dabbles with herbs. I'm sorry. Because I want the natural way of healing. I don't want to be on all these medicines. I want, just like a lot of people don't know that a form of aspirin is from a willow bark tree. That is, you can get willow bark and get the same effect as aspirin because that's what aspirin is made from. So if it's already out here in a plant form, God didn't put these plants on here just because he said, oh, let me make the world beautiful. I mean, however they grew for a reason. I mean, and when they talk about, like, they say that they have proof, scientific proof that certain animals will gnaw on certain food, certain leaves and things in the yard that basically heals them from whatever's going on within their bodies. But we don't look at it like that. They digest foods and grass and leaves and stuff from the earth to heal themselves when we don't do that. Not everyone. There's some people out here who are strictly herbal and they do all the plant-based this, that, and the other. I, for one, believe in getting healings from the plants and herbs and roots that we have on the earth, and I try to practice it every day in my lifestyle. I really do. But I just want people to understand that with taking anything, you can always have to watch it. Even with herbs, you have to watch it. You can't combine a whole bunch of herbs and then gulp them down, because you can do something called poisoning yourself. Even when you're taking different pills, you have to watch. Like if you have a doctor who recommends vitamins, they tell you don't take this vitamin with that vitamin. It can cause a certain kind of reaction if you have a good doctor, because there's vitamins out here that can do that as well, that can cause you to have some type of toxicity in your system let me get it right, in your system that can poison you. And you don't want to. That's why when I say that I take the milkthistle, I take it like every 2 days, so I can give my body a chance to process it through my system. And then, give my body a chance to kind of like eliminate it as well, processing it through my system. But because I am into a lot of herbs, I don't take them all at the same time. I got certain days, certain times that I take certain things, because I don't believe in combining all that. You could combine all that and be having some kind of reaction or having some type of seizure because you don't know what you mix together, because these are medicines. These are the natural medicines.
When I tell you, I'm looking at these pictures and oh my God, it's horrible.
Isn't it?
Oh my goodness. Yeah. And
Yeah.
and the sad part about it, I can't stop looking. Look, I can't stop looking, and it's just horrible. Oh my God.
I can't even stand having HS. It's a pain. I mean, it affects especially if you are sexually active, you up here got a bump on your ass, this screaming, I hate you, because that's how the pain feels. Like, I hate you. It's like your own body is going against you. You can't even feel comfortable having sex because you scared that this big ass bump that hurting your ass gonna burst, and and that's gonna be a whole nother thing right there. Or it's like, I have had moments where I had that bump and I was like, don't even touch me, don't even come near me, that's not happening. First of all, I'm already in pain, and secondly, this thing has to get off of me. It has to heal and get off of me before I could feel comfortable as a woman opening up at that level. It's like, no.
Damn, that's crazy. So you're in pain under your armpit. You can have up under or around or on your breast, and you can also have it down there in your lady part area.
Yep.
And men can have it down in their area as well.
Yep.
That's crazy. And when I tell you, I'm looking at these pictures. Let me stop. Goodness. That is terrible. Like I said, I never knew that I had this until just recently. Like I said, when I saw the commercial, and I guess I might not have never paid attention to the name until you just brought it up. It's like, wait a minute, I think I got that too.
I'm so sorry for you, because I don't wish this on nobody.
And I'm telling you, you just did. Yeah, okay. So I know now I need to buy aluminum-free deodorant, which, like I said, I thought that's what it was. I thought it was just my deodorant. I didn't know that it was an actual name for it. I just thought that this deodorant, you bought it because it was on sale and good deal, so you bought it, but it was name brand. But then when you want to buy the aluminum-free one, because that's what you thought it was, the aluminum-free one is 3 times as much more money.
You ain't even lying. It's
like, what's the setup? It's like, and if you're on a budget, you try to not spend as much money on certain things. Now that I know, I can't no longer. That's messed
I
up.
understand. And I was so happy when I found out that my FSA card from my insurance covered me buying that emuaid. I was like, oh, Lord, thank you, Jesus. Because the biggest jar costs like $65. Okay, the smallest one costs $25. So you thinking to yourself, you get the small one, you like, what am I gonna do with this? This gonna be gone in a matter of I don't know how. And I'm just like, that FSA card. I mean, I've been finding out about the FSA card. That's a whole nother conversation together. We need to know as women, if we got one of them FSA cards, they cover your pads. Okay, just throwing that out there. But back to the HS, I didn't know that, but I found that out too.
And I think I did that one time, paid for that card or, put into the card. Mm-hmm. And I wound up never really using it. So, I opted every year after that not to go into that plan, put that money on that card. Now I know next year for...
Well, you better know because you know what? If you didn't opt into the card and they took your money, because that's what they do, just being clear, they will take your money and the only thing you could carry over is $500. You better make sure that $500 is gone. Either call and check.
Okay.
Because you can carry over that $500. So you can go in the store and you can get any kind of over the counter, medicines. You can get your Tylenols, you can get your ibuprofen, you can get your sinus medicines, you can get your feminine tampons, pads, and things of that nature. Anything like that you can get. What I don't like is they don't allow you to get vitamins. It's like, okay, we ain't supposed to try to care for ourselves and do better. So I guess, but you can get your what you want to say, Pepto-Bismols and Tums and all that on that card.
Wow. And
see, I use mine when I go to the doctor's office and I have a copay. I pay my copays with it. If I have to have a special, like for example, I had like a heart monitor being done and I had to pay $250 out of my pocket. Girl, I gave them that card. There it was. It wasn't no money coming from me directly. It was coming off my card. So for me, it has been useful. But I understand what you're saying. Absolutely. They come telling me recently, you got $900 and we only gonna carry over $5. I said, no problem. Not a problem. I went and bought like 4 emuaid because they was like $64 a piece. I went and bought all the Tylenol, all the Tums, all the medicines that I could have over the counter. I was like, y'all ain't got to tell me twice because I went and bought some foot, what you call them, orthopedic things you put in your shoes. Yeah, I said, y'all is not getting my $400. You got me messed up. But
that's crazy.
Just knowing that I mentioned that the whole reason why we got on the FSA card is that if you have one, just knowing that you can cover the cost of the emuaid, the maximum strength you want to get, or you can cover the cost with that card. But I'm so sad to hear that you have HS. Okay, okay, I'm so sad
too. Now that I know that's what I have.
Yeah, and then you make sure you get rid of the antiperspirant. The antiperspirant, it's got aluminum in it, and it's not one that does not have aluminum in it. I've looked through every one of them. Spent 2 hours in the store just looking at deodorants. So yeah, you have to get that aluminum free one, and it's just better for you anyway. Some people, they say that our bodies digest a lot of the stuff. Like say if we eat off a paper plate, some of that plastic and stuff that comes off from the hot food being heated up and goes into our system, our liver has so much work to do. So it's like, we have to be careful with what we're putting on our skin and putting in our mouth to mess up our, liver or have it functioning extra hard,
Now I'm obsessed with finding out about this damn HS and why did I get it or did I... did I transfer them to my children? Do they have it? Matter of fact, after we get off this call, I'm going to call my children and say, hey, have you been having these symptoms lately? And if so, when did you first figure that out? When did this come about? And what are you doing to kind of not cure it, but to subdue whatever the pain is that you have? It ain't one thing. It's a Mickey Ficky nother.
Girl, you better say it. You better say it again. I'm trying. It's hard living this life.
And it says that
hard living this life.
the ratio of women to men is 3-1. So for every 3 women, there is 1 man that is experiencing HS. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. She's a nurse. I had a man who passed away because of the severity of his HS. Because it can form an infection on your body, and something that sits too long in your body starts to go into your bloodstream, and you really have to control that. But after, like say, it has been a few times where I've had to go get antibiotics because it was just out of control. Like just one bump was just making my life a living hell. It was like that bump basically was the ruler of who I am and my life. They was in control, okay? So I had to go to the doctor, and they gave me something for it. And with that, I started taking probiotics because, like I said, it'll take all your bacteria, the good and the bad, and just kill it. And you need your good bacteria. So probiotic, I was putting the probiotic in to get the good bacteria in my system and in my gut, and it, still taking the medicine. And then even after the medicine, I was taking the probiotic to try to replenish, because like I said, people don't realize that they get to taking these antibiotics and then they're super sick. Like every time somebody come around them with cold, they're acceptable to receiving whatever they have because their soldiers are dead. Your soldiers are dead.
That just sounds so funny. I mean, I know what you mean, but you're like, your soldiers are dead. The soldiers are dead.
Yep.
Wow.
So that prebiotic, the probiotic, not pre, but some people take the pre too. But I do take the probiotic if I take an antibiotic for sure, because I don't want to catch everything that comes about. I don't.
I truly understand.
Read up on it. You must look up on it. You must, and I suggest even going to a herbal library to see what herbs and stuff will help with whatever the issue is. And I'm not saying it's going to cure everything or stop everything, but it's worth a try versus taking all these medicines like you mentioned that you got to end up taking another medicine to cover the damage that the one medicine did. It's worth it. If it's digestible and edible or whatever, it's just worth it. This is, for example, they tell you that people who have like UTIs and things of that nature, that they can drink parsley leaf. Parsley leaf tea helps clear up, UTIs. So it's just worth it for us to start off with the, natural substances in our body and see what they're doing before you allow these medicines I can't stand the commercials with the 90,000. Oh, you take this medicine, you're going to feel good, but your eye is going to fall out. Then your nose is going to fall off. And then, you might have cancer in your toenail. It's just always something crazy.
It is ridiculous.
That don't sound like the medicine is worth taking.
A lot of it is not. It really is not. Thank you, girl.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Look, life changing.
We got to learn out here, don't we? We have to learn.
My name is Hayzel and I have HS. Now let me stop. I'm done. Well, we have come to the end of this week's episode. I want to first thank you for listening to the insanity that crosses our minds. To those who partake and entertain in my conversations, without you, there will be no hanging out with Hayzel. To Platinum Way Ray and Mac of the Tracks, we're looking out for my dope beat. And last but not least, shout out to my other half for making this possible. Because at the end of the day, she is I and I am her. If you thought this show was interesting, be sure to tune in to next week's episode and tell a friend. Support the movement. All things Hayzel Green. Find my books on Amazon.com. Follow, listen, and like at hayzelgreene.com. Hayzel Green on Facebook and Hayzel Green 216 on IG. 2 fingers, and I'm out. Hey, 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 hey.